Hi everyone, welcome to this next little video from World of Flowers by Johanna Basford. I am just picking the background colour for this little section. I've chose the Grenadine Light. I don't think we're going to have any pinks in here, so I thought it would be nice to do a pink background. So I'm just going to get going with that really. Now you notice I do up and down, back and forth and round. Really, most people would recommend you do a round and round movement like this when you're colouring because it looks a little bit neater. It doesn't show the direction so much. So just a little dip. If you're doing a big area, if you do a sort of round and round, you can see it's sort of more splodgy. And you can't see a direction. I'm always sometimes I want a direction in my colouring and sometimes I don't. It just depends on what I'm colouring really. So I just try and remember to do this sort of round and round movement. I also think it can look quite almost velvety sometimes if you use this effect. It depends on the colour you're using and the brand of pencil and everything else, but it can be quite nice, and it can be a little bit more forgiving, so if you're not very even it can just looks okay. So that's a little tip, and often a slightly blunter pencil it looks a bit better, or else you'll sort of see each individual line. But of course it can be quite tricky when you're trying to go around all sorts of little details like this to have a pencil that's too blunt. But I just let it go over the line slightly because I don't mind. So I know some people do. I was trying a technique last night where I had a really sharp pencil and I just gently layered over and over and over. I was using my polychromos. And yeah, I was quite pleased with the result, but it took a long time. But I was in the mood for sitting down and colouring one item for a long time just to try out a technique really. And so that's what I did. I got my Rooms of Wonder out and I took the pictures at the very back of the book on the colour palette test page, and I did a couple of those. There's a book, like a spell book, I think it is, and or it might be a journal actually. And there's a top hat. The top hat took me, I didn't want it really dark because I used black, so that was a bit quicker because I didn't want to keep going over and over and over and making it really black. So it was a bit quicker, but the book I did a lighter colour, so I did lots of layers. It was fun. It took a long time. I was watching a quiz on my computer and just colouring away. There we go. I'm going to leave that there for now. I may go over it a little more later if I've left bits. Now I realise we have two jars and we can see through them, so we really ought to actually put some background through those as well. So I'm just coming back. Just noticed a bit I missed there. What I'm going to do is make this lighter if I can. It's a little bit difficult with this because I've made it quite light anyway. So it's making it a bit lighter. Now I don't know how we're going to colour in these. I wonder what they are. But these look like sunflower seeds to me. Everton mints, or I think anyone who's not British won't know what I mean by an Everton mint. It is like a humbug. You may not know what that is either. So it's striped. It's like a boiled sweet with a mint flavour that's striped. And I'm going to do some terracotta for this first big pot. So we've got the base like that, which indicates it's a see-through, like a bottle. So, but it's got this handle. Oh, brown. You have these dark brown bottles, don't you, that look like that? That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to grab my sepia. But this, like a humbug is usually brown and yellow striped, but these are black and white. And yeah, they're called Everton mints, and the Everton Football Club has a black and white striped kit as far as I'm aware. I'm not a big football fan, because of the Everton mints, I think. Or maybe the mints named after the club. No, I don't think. Coloured after the club. I don't think it would be that way around. But they are really lovely because what happens is, I'm going to make you all hungry, you suck the mint to start with because it's a boiled sweet, but once you get towards the middle, there's a sort of toffee type bit in the centre which is chewy and has a sort of top minty toffee flavour. It's, oh, how nice. I don't eat sweets anymore. Childhood memories. But no, I don't. I'm really careful. You know, when my parents are diabetic, so I just try to be careful, and I want to do what I can for my health. Lots of veggies if I can. I actually realised this morning while I was making my family's packed lunches, I'm trying to work out what to do with this bit. I think I might make it a little bit darker. I don't know what I can't speak. I need to have a look at a bottle really and see what that looks like. Yeah, I was making the packed lunches and I was putting my children some carrot sticks and some peppers and what else did I put in? Grapes into their lunchbox, and my husband had a full salad. And I was thinking how actually when it's lunchtime I don't eat any vegetables at all. I tend to just have some toast, so I really ought to start having a bit more in the way of veggies. I'm going to try and make this handle a little bit darker just on that edge. On both edges actually, to make it look a little bit more rounded. There we go. So there is our brown bottle. We need to do the cork next. We want quite a pale colour for the cork, I think. Oops, we did a cork before, didn't we? Not sure where that was. I'm going to use the terracotta light like I did before. I mean, it could be a red bung. Sometimes they're red. And I'm going to do some dots on it to make it look more cork-like. So I'm going to grab my sepia again, which I just draw a few dots. There. It's easy. Now let's do this one as a green bottle. I do like, oh, we did one though, didn't we? We did, oh, it was up there with our mouse picture. I did bottle green. Let's do a dark blue, or actually that ultramarine is really pretty. Let's use that. It's the ultramarine violet. Let's make a bottle, because this is brown, it's a bit, let's make something bright. I don't think I've ever seen a bottle this colour, but does it matter? No. I know I haven't done the label. I'm not very good at labels. I never know quite what to do for the labels. I don't tend to buy a lot of bottles. The only bottles I have are glass bottles. I don't really, because I don't drink. Again, that's partly for health reasons, but I don't really like it, so I don't bother. There are a few drinks I could drink, like Bailey's, which is a sort of whiskey cream liqueur, which is delicious. But coffee, it's sort of whiskey coffee cream or something. It's really nice. But it's the cream and the coffee that I like, not the alcohol. So it's like, well, why? You know, I don't drink. So it's just, I didn't grow up with drinking, and it just never interested me really. I mean, we could drink if we wanted. It wasn't banned in the house. We just didn't do it. And it's the same as my boys aren't interested. They've tried it. They don't like it. So they're not really interested in drinking. Now this bit of cork is through the glass. So I'm going to put a little bit of purple on it. And I'm going to make this bit quite dark because it's the sort of thicker bit of glass on the brim or rim of the bottle. Now this cork I'm going to do slightly differently, I think. Yeah, let's go for a really dark brown. We've got this burnt umber because we've got this purple we've got to fight with. So I shall do the top bit first because it's easier. A little bit darker on the edges just to give it a slightly rounded look. And then down here, try and get that to show over the top of that purple, but we want it to look darker because it's inside, so I think that's fine. Okay, we are going to potentially draw some shine on these bottles after and the jars, but we'll get them all done first. Let's go back and do this label though. I'm thinking maybe we'll do a bit of red, and we've got the Indian red, Maybe we'll do a red border on the label. We need to, you know, if this brown bottle was on the shelf somewhere, you need to sell it so you have a bright label. It's got a picture of, I wonder if it's supposed to be fertiliser, it's got a picture of leaves on it. There we go. I'm going to do the leaves quite dark. Yeah, let's go for the oxide of chrome. It needs a sharpen. There we go. So oxide of chrome. Oh, there you go. So the only glass bottles I keep in my house are cadmium green, are olive oil. I'm just going to do this really lightly. So I'm using the edge of the pencil, holding it right at the bottom because it's quite a short one. There. That brightens up that brown, doesn't it? Now on this one we've got this violetty colour. I think we'll go with some lavender. So we use the lavender for the outside of the label. I tend to press quite hard on the outside. Well, put down a heavy layer. Don't press so hard that you break the paper. Because I think it's like a border, it would stand out. We'll make that the same colour, you don't have to. And then in the background, maybe we'll do a little bit of rose pink. Just a light pink. Again, I'm using the edge of the pencil, holding it quite far down so I can get a light layer. There we go. Let's do our horseshoe because I'm likely to forget otherwise. I'm going to use my cool grey deep. I'm going to do it sort of metallic looking. So for the across bits, for the horizontal bits I should say, harder here, lighter towards the middle, leave some white. Same here. I want it to look shiny. Often they're quite rusty, but this one isn't going to be. This one's going to be nice and shiny. There we go. And for this bit, I'm going to make the shine about halfway down. Like that. Hopefully it gives the impression that it's a sort of shiny metal. Okay, this jar. I want to make those little circles on these sort of seeds coloured so they stand out. It doesn't look like I've just done nothing with it. But I need quite a dark colour to do that. So I think I might use this one. We haven't used this one on this page. We use the Chinese orange. And I'm going to go in. I need to sharpen it really carefully. There we go. And just try and do a dot for each one gently. And go all the way around. My stomach is gurgling away. What time is it? Oh, it's 20 to 12. I still haven't got used to the clock change, which happened a few weeks, a week and a half ago. Now I'm going to put the lid with this colour too, but I want it to be slightly lighter so it doesn't look like it's exactly the same colour. But I want it to sort of match. Oh, I've got a caterpillar up there. Oh, they're colouring caterpillars. Right, let's do our sunflower seeds next. I need a black. So, or our Everton mints. I'm thinking for some of them I want the black on the outside and for some of them I want it on the inside. But I think actually putting it on the outside of them all might just work better. Because we'll be able to see it against the background. I'm not doing any shading, I'm just blocking it out so that we can see what's going on. I think I'll do that one in the middle because it's got some very close to it. Now doing this has revealed a few bits which I think might be supposed to be like in the background, not have actual seeds in. So I may have to come back in with my background colour and do a little bit in a minute. But that's okay. So I am mixing up a bit. I'm just sort of doing what I think is going to look best. Now I'm going to grab, what do we use for the background? Was it this Grenadine light? So I'm just going to put a bit in these gaps. Just a small bit. That isn't a bit. There. Now our lid. Ooh, let's just pop that back. You can have any colour. Let's do, I want my caterpillar to be greeny blue. So I'm going to do that first and then decide on the lid. I'm going to use the teal green light. I don't think I've used it. Brushing from making pencil shavings all over the desk. So ideally I would go around each circle harder on the outside and less in the middle, but he is so small that I'm just going to block in each circle, even the head. There he is. This looks cute. And the lid, we will do it in a green because, although this might be green, maybe not. Yellow. Let's do yellow. I haven't got any yellow on this page. What's this yellow? This is the Naples yellow. Let's use that. So I'm going to make it darker here on the edge. So just going over and over, and then less towards the middle. Go. Now we need our white to just finish off these different jars and things. So this is the Posca white that I've been using for this page. And I'm going to pop a bit on here. Do it parallel to the thing that you're drawing it on. Oops, that's discoloured. Look, it's gone pink. Oh dear, never mind. This one, it's not going to show up very well. I'm going to do quite a big area like that, and then do some lines through, and hopefully you'll be able to see it. Same with this one, it's not going to show up. So let's put a bit there through them. And we can put some other bits. Oh, that's got a bit of black in around, try and make it look a bit glassy. Yeah, I think that'll do. There's a pity about that. I've got some bleed proof white which stops that happening, but I haven't got it in here, so we'll just have to pretend that's white, but obviously it isn't. But yeah, so there's that one. I'm going to stop for now because it's lunchtime, and might make a few more videos after lunch, but this has been fun. So thank you for watching and joining me colour. It's fun when I think someone's watching, even though you're not watching live. But thank you very much. Have a really lovely day and happy colouring.